Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday, the 28th of March. So, looking at the euro dollar first, and well, it did at one stage look like we were going to push on upwards, and then it all stalled yesterday morning, rolled over, bit of a bounce, and now we're sort of sitting somewhere, well, maybe heading down towards the weekly pivot, down at around about 23 to 27 sort of area. Now there's plenty of support in the way of that if it was to run down there, but we've had this sort of early morning sort of dash here. I'm always a bit suspicious, just like yesterday's morning dash there at 7 o'clock. We've seen one running down at the moment here. Is this just to flush people out before it reverses, or are we really going to see something a bit more significant and a move down towards the weekly pivot? Um, it does look weak. I mean, it's not confirmed as a lower high until we break this level here, and then it's confirmed as a lower high coming in. In fact, we've actually put a higher high in this point here, but all a bit messy at the moment. So just need to watch this first thing this morning for close. As I said, it's already hit the daily pivot there. Looks like resistance is around about 50% retrace-ish, maybe a bit less on this euro, but it does look soft at the moment. So that's where we stand. Let's clear that out of the way. He says, if I can get rid of the pen, that'd be good. And let's move on to the pound then. Pound had one of its biggest down days for a while actually. It too just literally sold from post 8 o'clock and just ran off, caught the weekly pivot. It's had a decent bounce though later in the day. It bounced 100 pips, I think it was, or something pretty close. Where we're sitting now again, well, it's looking weak. It's sort of a bearish flag sort of pattern here, but in an upward trend. And it's not really done too much damage in this shorter term pattern. We've got a sort of higher low confirmed. Has got the daily pivot underneath us, which may draw it down at least part way. If it starts pushing through that, well, we'll see. But even if it hits that daily pivot, it hasn't taken out this prior low here. So it's holding up reasonably well at the moment. Apparently, some comments are going to be made at some point. I'm not sure if it's today, or regarding hard border or the way of getting rid of a hard border, should I say, particularly for Northern Ireland there and the island. So I'm not sure if that's out there yet or not, but it's due out now. That could obviously have an effect on the pound at some point if that does come out. But at the moment, looking weak towards the daily pivot. A break of that daily pivot really pushes us back down, and I'd be looking back for this sort of support area which we saw before, around about the 140, 95, 141 area. Okay, so pound, dollar, yen. Dollar yen still really gradually following this trend line that was originally there. It's in fact used it as support and then sort of dropped through it, and it's more like a regression line now, if anything. Pushing back up this morning, it gave back everything it made yesterday, but pushing back up, higher lows coming in through there. Everything's looking like it has the potential to carry on there at the moment. Certainly from this hourly picture, I'm just working. It's still put the lower high in at this. Sorry, no, didn't put. That was a higher low. Higher low. If only I could say a higher low there, but a lower low here. So sounds like some French comedy. Bit bitty actually. It may be. I'm just sort of looking at 16. We may get trapped again. It's been trapped all week with options each day. It seems to be options expiries, big volumes of options sitting around on it, and it's really caused it the lack of. I mean, it moved 35 pips or something, whilst the pound moved nearly 200, or around about 200 yesterday. So it is running much slower. If for that reason, I shall be leaving it. Aussie dollar. Well, the Aussie dollar sold off nicely and closed down low nicely yesterday, which may suggest a follow through today. It is sitting around the sort of support area. Should I come back to the dailies there? There's a sort of a support area just above the monthly S1, which was previous highs sitting across here, and it's sort of like a pivotal area there around about the 76.80 area. If you can break through this and start moving down, well, it's got some potential to carry on pushing down. As I said yesterday, it's the weakest of the pairings against the US dollar in real terms that I'm looking at here, the majors. And it does look like it could carry on breaking down. So, yeah, it does look weak. There's nothing else there. It's just missed the daily pivot today, but I wouldn't be betting on it going back up for it at the moment. It may do later, but I should still steer clear. Have no entry on that. And finally, the Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar, okay, it's softening a bit against the US dollar, pushing back up. Bit of a maybe a reversal buy there yesterday. Still got the weekly pivot ahead. Maybe today's the day it starts moving towards that. We'll see. Everything seems to change nicely just after 8 o'clock, so I'm a bit wary. There is an untouched daily pivot below, but like the Aussie dollar, it has already moved quite a significant chunk. If it does start pulling back, well, one thing I pointed out yesterday, lower highs all the way through here. Even now it hasn't pushed up higher than this previous one, and on the major lows they're all lower lows, so it's a bit of an iffy one, but it may at last be looking to change to push up towards that weekly pivot. So slow and sticky on that one for sure. Obviously, just clicked on the wrong button. There we go. Oil just coming off yesterday, came off quite sharply in the end, dropped a couple of dollars there nearly, and is looking pretty weakish at the moment. So yeah, bit bitty, very bitty price action yesterday with oil, but there we are. Okay, so news-wise today there is barely anything to talk about. We've got GDP, US final GDP, that may create a bit of volatility at 1:30. Crude oil inventories, as I'm talking about oil here, at 3:30 may create a bit of buzz, but it's nowhere near where it was a few months ago. Right, have a great one. Bye for now.